I was thinking about a story, Ryan, when we were talking about this. Have you read Jocko's book, Extreme Ownership?
Yep.
And so you know the story he tells in there about how, I think it's during Bud's training, and I could mess this story up, but I'll get the spirit of the story right, that there were like 6 teams, and there were teams of 3, and they were racing. Like, you had to carry a canoe or something and then paddle, and it was like a race. And, you know, one team clearly won, and Jocko went and was asking the other guys that were like lagging behind and in last place, like, why did you do so bad? And the guy who was the leader was like, oh, my team sucks. And so he thought to just change leaders. You know the story that I'm talking about? So all he did is change the leader, and then the leader that had won previously then eventually won with the team that had been in last place. And the point being that it's really just mostly about the leader, because leaders can get people engaged. They can get more out of people than they know, that they're capable of. And so I was thinking about you and that story.
Thank you.
And so what do you think as far as leadership goes? And I do want to get your feedback from the leadership training that I did there a little while ago. But what do you think the important characteristics are of a leader?
I think one of the main things is being able to be approachable. I mean, my team knows that they can come to me with anything, and I'm there to help them. I've built some really good relationships with my staff, and so much so that we're able to go out on a personal level as well and talk to each other on personal levels. I think they see me working for them. So, that extreme ownership aspect is, not necessarily a servant leader, but having extreme ownership of the team, and that I've never asked them to do something that I wasn't willing to do. And I think they see that in me, and they see that I want to work hard to achieve more, and they just want to follow that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Do you have a joke from right here, Christian?
Well, I was gonna make a quick. You like wine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did the green grape say to the purple grape?
What did the green grape say to the purple grape? What?
Breathe, damn it!
He laughed.
Thank you, Ryan.
I don't get it.
So the reason that the grape is purple is because it's not breathing.
So instead of red wine, it's suffocating.
This was a home run. This is better than the bear joke. I felt like I had to outdo the guy on the hill. So.
You did. Don't worry. You got it.
So when I came out there and we did a little 1.5-day leadership workshop, which, by the way, I worked really hard on that because I really felt like that was something that I just really wanted to make a difference in that room. What were your big takeaways from that?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, you definitely made a difference. I've been hearing it just a lot from the other service coaches that really were involved in it, and we kind of talked about it after the fact, and how we went back to our staff and talked to them about what we learned and locus of control and feathers and everything. And we've all noticed just differences. So I guess that was my biggest takeaway, was the locus of control, that internal versus external. Are you a person that you control everything that happens to you? You control your destiny? Or are you a person that lets the world run over you and, you're a feather in the wind? I went back, and it was funny. The day after, I was talking to one of my technicians, and he had a lot of personal stuff going on, and he was telling me, it's their fault, and this is happening to me, and I heard that, and I was like, man, you're a feather. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, you're a feather, And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you're just letting the wind take you where it wants to, man. You're just letting the world happen to you instead of controlling what you do. And we ended up going to lunch that day, and we talked about it, and he came back later that day, and he was like, man, or the next day, and he said, man, I went home and I told my roommate this, and I'm moving out, and I got a good place, and I'm ready for it. And, I really appreciate you talking to me. And it was just so interesting to just pass on that little bit of information, like you did for us. and how we were able to use it. That was a huge tip. I really appreciated it.
The thing that really moved me about it was that 2 of the managers went home the first night and told their kids, which, you know, it was meant to be a leadership thing, but it really is way more than that, right? It's way bigger than just leadership. It's very personal because it's a mirror in a sense, in that you have to do a little inventory on yourself, right?
Yeah, I did, and that's it. I as soon as you said it, right, we were talking and you introduced and you said, you know, the locus of control, you have internal, you have external. As soon as you explained what those were, I immediately started taking inventory of my employees and myself and kind of saying, where am I and where are they and who are my people that control things and who are my feathers that are just blowing away.
Thanks so much for watching this clip of Service Driving Revolution. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.